Evergreen content is exactly what it sounds like. Content that lasts forever. Well, maybe not forever, but a long, long time. Now you may say, well, all content lasts forever, and you're right. So let me refine that definition. Evergreen content is content that the audience will find useful and relevant for a long period of time. That's why certain YouTube videos are still getting thousands of views, if not more, each and every day, 10 years after they were created. To be even more precise, and to give you a few examples so you could create some of this continually earning content for yourself, let's take a little deeper dive into the issue. It is content that remains useful for the audience long after it was created, regardless how the rest of the world, if you will, has changed. Here are some examples that I have created that fall under the headline of Evergreen and continue to get views day after day. How to play Wordle. Accounts payable basics. What is the statement of cash flow? Debits and credits. What's the difference? Accounts payable tutorial for beginners. Wait a minute, you say. Didn't you mention that last one twice? Not exactly. While both those videos cover the same material, one is 17 minutes long and the other is almost an hour. For a long time after the success of my accounts payable tutorial for beginners, I shied away from making anything remotely similar because I didn't want to compete with myself. Big mistake. When you have something that resonates with your audience, create related content and/or the same content in a slightly different format as quickly as you can. While will it cannibalize on that initial piece of content? Maybe, but net, you'll have more views, which will ultimately lead to more income. My first accounts payable basics video was getting 150 to 200 views a day when I finally got some sense and created that second one. Today it only gets 75 to 150 views a day, but that second basics video I created gets 150 to 275 views a day, and both are increasing. So net, it was a gain. Now here are some basic guidelines you can use when setting up what you hope will be evergreen content. Of course, you never know exactly what's going to turn out to resonate with your audience, so sometimes you have to keep on trying. You'll think something is really important and they turn their nose up at it. Okay, so rule number one, if you will, pick some basic topics, questions that you might even think are too basic. If you ever start to think, oh, everybody knows that, nobody would want a video on that, consider this. I once watched a video on how to boil water in an Instant Pot, and I couldn't figure out how to get mine to work. And that video had hundreds of thousands of views. And another longer one, which I did not watch because I figured I could learn how to boil water in 4 minutes. I didn't need 15 minutes, had over 1 million views. You can also answer a very specific question. This will get views if enough people are searching for it. Rule number two, don't get fancy with the title. Make sure you have the keywords in the title that spell out exactly what it is, like how to play Wordle. The experts will tell you to spark curiosity with your title, and there is something to be said for that. But in this case, when you're going after evergreen content, and you're trying to attract attention from folks looking for a specific piece of information, make sure that they understand that your piece of content will give it to them. Don't leave them guessing. They may skip over your link in favor of one that gives them exactly what they are looking for, and it tells them that in the title. Rule number three, be patient. Sometimes it takes a while for your piece of content to take off. Sometimes it never does, to be honest. Sadly, there's no easy way to tell which will happen. I created a video entitled Cash Flow Statement for Beginners. For the first day, it got a whopping 42 views in the first 24 hours. And for the first week, it had 87 views, 140 in the first month. After that, it limped along for almost 400 days. Yes, 400 days. And then it took off. Why? The algorithm had finally identified the audience that this piece would appeal to. Does this give you any ideas for content you might want to create? If so, click on the link that has appeared on your YouTube screen and watch our most recent video to help prepare you for starting and growing a content creation business. Good luck.